Football is all about money these days, isn't it? If you spend a ton of money on your transfer fees, you're going to do well. If you spend a ton of money on your wage bill, you're going to do well. Well, I'll tell you what, I've looked at all 92 teams in the Football League and I've worked out who are the biggest overachievers this season and who are the biggest underachievers. The biggest overachievers in the Premier League are Fulham Football Club, the club that we all love unless you're a Chelsea fan. Now, their squad value is 254 million euros. It sounds like a lot of money, but it's not if you compare it with the likes of Chelsea and Man City, who've got billion-dollar squads. Now, Fulham should really by rights be 19th in the Premier League based upon their squad value. They're actually 9th, so they've overachieved so far by about 10 places. Remember the start of the season, everyone was asking the questions, can Fulham survive? And in particular, can Alexandra Mitrovic, the big Serb, actually score goals in the Premier League? Well, he's got 11 goals in 21 games. He'd have got a lot more goals if he wasn't scrapping referees every week. And you look at the likes of Will.i.am, written off by other clubs, brought in for next to nothing. He's really achieved at Fulham. You look at the likes of Andreas Pereira. So this is a really well-run club that's overachieved all season. And I've got to give special shout-outs to the following teams: Aston Villa, Brighton and Hove Albion, Brentford, Crystal Palace and Bournemouth. These are teams who by rights should be 5 or 6 places lower in the Premier League. But you look at the likes of Brentford and Brighton and Hove Albion, they've got really canny owners. They've got boards who run these clubs really well, and they look for players not in the usual places, but they look in the Danish second division or the Ghanaian Premier League. So good owners, good boards, getting good value for players. And the biggest underachievers in the Premier League have got to be Chelsea. They've got a squad value of over €1 billion. They should be second in the Premier League and challenging Man City, but they're not. They're 11th. They are 9 places below where they should be. Can you believe that? Chelsea are in the bottom half of the table, and last season they qualified for the Champions League. They've scored less goals than Bournemouth this season. And if you look at the reasons why they're down there, you've got to look to the ownership situation. We know that Roman Abramovich was sanctioned. He had to sell the club. And the owners who've come in, no disrespect, I'm sure they're very nice guys, they don't seem to understand football. They're paying massive money for the wrong players. They've now got a bloated squad of prima donnas, over 30 players, of which only 11 can start every Saturday. So something is very wrong with Chelsea. And as we know, they don't really have a proven goal scorer. So that is truly embarrassing. But dishonourable mentions also to West Ham, Leicester City and Southampton. Those 3 teams should be 6 to 8 places higher than they actually are. And the biggest overachievers in the Championship are Luton Town. Now, they've got a squad value of €36 million. That is the value of one average Premier League player. They should be 18th in the Championship. They're not. They're in 3rd place. Luton Town might be in the Premier League next season. Can you imagine that? Luton Town against Manchester City in the Premier League. All those City fans streaming in between those terraced houses. Now, Luton Town brought in 22 players last season. So who could have predicted that they'd been in 3rd place? And one of those players was Carlton Morris, who's got 20 goals and 5 assists this season. That is truly incredible. And the biggest underachievers in the Championship are Watford. So Luton Town fans, you can have a good laugh at this one. The squad value of Watford is €130 million. You should be runners-up, you should be 2nd in the Championship, and you're not. You're 13th, so you're underachieving by about 11 places. Now, the celebrity fan Elton John sings "Don't Go Breaking My Heart," but his heart has been broken this season. I guess that's why they call it the Blues. And by the way, who writes these jokes? Oh yeah, it was me, wasn't it? But Watford, they've got players like Ismail Assar, João Pedro and Hamza Chowdhury. They should not be mid-table in the Championship. Into League One now, and it's a good time to do our giveaway because behind me there is a lovely t-shirt from the lads and lasses at 1874 Retro. Go follow them on Instagram. They're massive Bolton fans. So the giveaway is you can win this shirt. All you've got to tell me is Bolton Wanderers are better than Manchester United because The biggest overachievers in League One are Wickham Wanderers. They should be 17th in the league based upon squad value, and they're actually 9th. So they're actually 8 places above where they should be. And until recently, they were pushing Bolton Wanderers. They were pushing Derby County for a playoff place, and they've just fallen away a bit. But I've got a problem with this club. Wickham Wanderers, don't call yourself Wanderers. Bolton Wanderers are the one and only Wanderers. And the joint overachievers in League One are Shrewsbury Town, or should it be Shrewsbury? Shrewsbury. I don't know what to call them. Tell me in the comments. Now, based upon squad value, they should be 21st in the league. They're actually 13th, so comfortably mid-table. And over the last 5 games, they've only got 1 point, so they've actually fallen away. And maybe that's because they've not spent enough on their squad, but they've had a really solid season. And the biggest underachievers in League One are Milton Keynes Dons. They should be 9th based upon squad value. They should be pushing for playoffs with the likes of Bolton Wanderers, but actually they're 20th. They're trying to avoid relegation. Will Grigg isn't on fire. Defences are not terrified this season. Sorry, Will, he's been a great player over the years, but he did once play for Wigan, so I think I can do that joke. And I've got a theory about Milton Keynes Dons. I think the players on a Saturday morning, they get up, they're fit, they're excited, then they drive to the ground, round 1 roundabout, and another, around 20 roundabouts. By the time they get to the ground, they're absolutely knackered. Over to League 2 now, and the biggest overachievers are AFC Barrow. According to squad value, they should be 24th, the rock bottom in the division, bottom of the 92 teams, but they're Barrow, they're plucky, they're fighters. They are 9th in the division, so they're 15 places above where they should be. If you want to know about Barrow, watch the film Phantom of the Open. It's a comedy about golf, and it's absolutely hilarious and brilliant. It tells you all you need to know about the town. It's a working class shipbuilding town, and the football club means a lot to those people. I should know. My dad lives just up the road, and one of the players who's having a great season is Josh Gordon, the lad from Stoke. He's got 15 goals already, despite being injured for a chunk of the season. He's having the season of his life. So well done to AFC Barrow. That's a ground I've never visited. Next season, I promise. And the biggest underachievers of League 2 are Crewe Alexandra. You should be 3rd in the division, and you're not. You're 18th. You're 15 places below where you should be. And you know why that is? You're just a town full of train spotters. Get off that platform. Stop spotting your trains. Get down there and support your local. And next season, you'll do a lot better. And that's another ground I've not been to. And after that banter, I'm probably not welcome. See you.